Sand qui a Riola Sardo, anche per loro 20 minuti di free practice, il primo giro con le bandiere esposte da parte di...
Hello everybody and welcome to our live studio show here on MXGP-TV, Facebook and YouTube with me, Paul Malin and Lisa Leyland. It's round 8 of the FIA Motocross World Championship with the MXGP of Sardegna on that fantastic Mediterranean island. So it's pretty warm, we've got a deep sand track, so it's going to be a real interesting challenge for the riders. Coming up on today's show, we've got Stefan Rubini from Ship to Cycle Motor Blues, SR Motor Blues Honda. We've also got Ben Watson coming in from Kawasaki Race Team and Stephen Sword. And, of course, he's the team trainer for Hitachi KTM fueled by Milwaukee. But, Lisa, let's catch up. Last week we were in Majora, we've travelled south this week, and we can tell, can't we, though? It's a bit hot, isn't it, dull?
It's a little bit hot, but I like it. It's almost, you got the sand, you got the weather, it's almost like, you got the sea, that we're on holiday.
It's a bit warm, though.
It is a little, no, it's not too warm for me. It's never too hot for me. I like this weather. I like this weather.
Yeah.
No, it's good. I'm happy to be here.
Feeling frowsy yet?
A little bit frowsy. It is a little bit frowsy. Towards the end of the day, I get frowsy. But
right.
I think we all do, don't we?
I think we do. Well, speak for yourself. Anyway, let's bring in our first guest, Stefan Rubini from, as we said, Ship to Cycle, Motor Blues, SR, Honda SR Motor Blues. First up, congratulations on last weekend. You finally made it to the podium. Took a while, but I'm sure it was worth the wait.
Yeah, it took a while, you know. It's a shame that I had to wait my last year in MX2, but I finally made it to the podium, and I hope it won't be the last one.
Well, your last podium was 2019 when you won EMX 250.
Yeah.
So, you know, hopefully now the nerves are settled. You can go out and get another one this weekend.
Yes, yeah, like
easier said than done.
Easier said than done, for sure. But you know, we all work so hard to get there, and well, once you make it, you always want another one, and for sure it was a third place, but I want to go on the second and the first one also. So yeah. I will work. Maybe harder, I guess, to
well,
get
there. You got a second and a sixth last week to get there. That second race looked like you really had to fight for those points to get yourself back on the podium. 1 point you were in sixth, then down to 8th or 10th, and back up to 8th and 6th. Just tell us, how difficult was that second race? And I guess knowing there was an opportunity for you to make the podium.
Honestly, I really had no idea that I was on the podium. Because for like 30 minutes I didn't watch even once the pit board.
Okay.
So I had no idea. Only when I crossed the line, I knew that I was on the podium, but otherwise I didn't.
But I mean, after finishing second in the first race, you know there was a chance, and then you're in the mix.
Yeah, I know it was a chance, and but I had no idea what place I was. So I knew I could be on the podium, but yeah, I just wanted to pass these guys, even though the battle was good, you know. But yeah, I had no idea until the end.
Yeah.
And when you're on the podium, you look like you really enjoyed it up there. But what does a result like this mean to you and also to a team like Ship to Cycle Honda SR Motor Blues?
Yeah, like it's not a factory team, so it's really good for us to be on the podium, you know, to show that even as a small team, we can do big things. And also for Honda, you know, it's a brand new bike, and yeah, to show that it's a bike that can go on the podium. You know, we don't have much things on the bike, so it's really cool to put this brand on there.
Yeah.
Well, also it's a French team. Has it made a difference, it being a French team, to your riding, to how you're feeling, or not?
Well, it's everything easier, you know. Everybody speaks French in the team. They listen to us, me and Yves de Maria. They wanna progress as much as me. They are really motivated, you know, to do a great season. So yeah, we go in the same direction. So it's all good.
Mm-hmm. Well, this year you've had 5 top 10 overall finishes from the 7 rounds. That's probably your most consistent start ever in MX2. What else have you changed in the off-season? You obviously changed team, but you stayed with Honda, different team. But did you try a different training program, technique, more or less riding, or, you know, is it a combination of a lot of things?
Actually, the fact that I changed team and it's a brand new bike also, well, you are more confident, and it's all new.
Yeah, the 250 CRF is a very good bike this year in standard form.
Really good, really good. I was really impressed. But yeah, actually on the training I didn't change much. I still trust Yves de Maria on the program 100%, and I just follow what he says. The thing that changed this year is that I didn't get injured during the off season, and also during the season. So this is good. You know, I've had a lot of injuries in the past years, and this year I can say that I'm almost 100% since the beginning of the season.
Well, before Majora, your best race finish was 5th in the first race in Matterley. How important was it for you to get that good result early on and with a new team?
I guess this happened because I had no expectation of me, you know, like I was without pressure, and I was just, you know, happy, brand new team, brand new bike, and to show up there, we had only a van, you know, because of the
first one was cancelled, postponed,
we had only a van, and we were just without pressure, and everybody was happy, everybody was motivated, and yeah, I guess I was just riding like myself, and I think if I believed like I believed in Majora, I maybe could have done better, but yeah, it was a great race anyway.
But it does kind of set you up, doesn't it? Now you kind of had that top 5, you're just like, okay, now let's see where we go from here.
Yeah, exactly. And like maybe I just should have, you know, keep it cool and just keep it going. Like
yeah.
Okay, well, like I said before, it's like a different day today, a different weekend. We all start from zero, totally different track. The first deep sand race that we've had so far this season. It's going to be hot. It's not going to be easy out there, is it?
No, not at all. You know, I'm not a sand rider at all. You may know.
Moi.
But yeah, it's not like Kegums. You know, it's I think my riding style can suits better on this kind of track than Kegums. You know, it was really tough for me, Kegums. I really struggled a lot. But I think I can enjoy a little bit more here. Yeah,
because Kegums is harder and therefore faster and maybe easier to make mistakes. Here it's more about rhythm and flow.
Yes.
And just maintaining that consistency.
Yes, exactly. And it's also, on my side, with the heat, it's going to be more physically difficult.
Yeah, we didn't mention that, but 30 degrees maybe this weekend.
Yes.
It's going to be tough physically that way as well.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
All right. Well, look, Stefan Rubini, thanks a lot. Thanks for joining us. All the best today and the rest of the season. And yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, more podiums throughout the course of the year.
Thanks, Steve.
Good job. Right, Ben Watson is getting ready to talk to us now. But before we catch up with him, let's just take a look at some highlights from MX2 Race 2 from Italy in Majora 1 week ago.
And it's Vial, he nudges across on Iago Chiesa, so they're going to that first turn, but from the outside, Kai Carsmaker's doing what Guadagnini did. Carsmakers makes a mistake in turn 3, an easy pass for Iago Chiesa, moves into second place. And over the berm as well, that may let in Guadagnini. The fans are on their feet, but it does now. Guadagnini up to 5th. Guadagnini down again! And Hornbo did a great job to avoid the Italian, so Guadagnini out of 5th. And he makes a mistake, and Horup is back through. Rubini losing the position there, and if Hornbo finds his way past the Frenchman, he will not be on the podium. And Hornbo does go down the inside of the Frenchman, who touches rubber as they go into that turn. So we've got the battle up front for first and second in the championship and the overall Grand Prix, and then this titanic battle for third in the overall classification that involves this rider here in red, Stefan Rubini. Watch, top of your screen. Hornbo ran wide. Rubini took full advantage, slipped himself up into 7th place. But Rubini going after Carsmakers all of a sudden. The number 33 in black on the Hitachi KTM, fueled by Milwaukee. He carves him up. All of a sudden, Rubini absolutely on fire. Into the trees for the final time. Vial, Red Bull KTM, charges downhill. Down towards the finish line. Out of the final turn. Tom Vial wins race 2, his 5th race win of the season. Rubini on the podium for the first time in MX2 in 3rd. Jargo Kietz wins the overall with a 1st and a 2nd. Vial 2nd with a 5th and a 1st. Kietz now 6 points clear of Tom Vial in a very tight contest in the World Championship chase.
Hello everybody, welcome back to our live studio show here, part 2 on MXGP-TV.com and Facebook and YouTube. We're here with Ben Watson, our second guest, of course, Kawasaki Racing Team. Ben, welcome to Sardinia. It's a bit warm, isn't it? Did you bring your bucket and spade?
Yeah, I know. It's going to be a deep, hot weekend.
Do you like the heat, though? Because obviously we've not really spoke about it with Stefan Rubini a moment ago, but it's going to be 28, 30 degrees. It's going to be a hot one. Are you one of those that actually relishes in those kind of conditions, or you have to be a little bit more sort of, you know?
Yeah, it's hard to say. Obviously, when the hotter it is, the more difficult it is, but on the same time, it's the same for everybody. So, yeah, it's going to be heavy, even if it was cold, with these conditions. So it's going to be, really difficult with the heat, but you just have to remember when the struggle starts coming, it's the same for everyone.
Yeah.
Well, it was a little bit cooler last weekend in Majora. 6th overall for you. Were you pleased with last week's performance?
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it's been a really tough season, so to finally, be running up the front a little bit again and just show a little bit more of something and what I can do, it was, really nice to get back at the front.
Well, you actually took your first whole shot since Mantova 2 in 2020, and your first whole shot in MXGP as well. How did you feel up front? Were you feeling nervous, or were you actually feeling okay leading again?
No, definitely not feeling okay or comfortable. I mean, it's been a long time since I was leading. I actually took a whole shot of the Nations in last year with the 450, so I led a few laps then on the Saturday. So,
but is it different though, Nations and the GP? Because obviously this is the everyday thing, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely different. And you know, in the Nations there was not everyone there, so here was really felt like the big scene. And you know, this is MXGP now; it's different to MX2. So, no, to lead them laps, it was a strange feeling. And you know, when you've been riding in 15th, 16th, and then on one moment you're jumping up and you're leading the race, of course it's going to feel strange. And I need to put myself in that situation to get used to it.
But also, it was tricky track conditions. You knew if you were leading not to make a mistake, because you can go from first to, again, like 15th and find no way back, because it did look like one or two lines, even in that second race. Yeah,
definitely. And with me, like this year, I've had some good starts, and a lot of the time I've just been dropping back. I've been feeling, not my best. And, you know, when one guy comes past the next guy and it just follows on and you end up dropping back, even worse than what you would if you took a bad start. So for me, like, even if I wasn't getting a good start, I was building up, and those races were actually a bit better for me. So for me to get the whole shot and then to finish fourth was a big positive.
Yeah, good. Well, look, more from Ben in a moment. Let's just give you another idea as to how you can follow us on MXGP TV, uninterrupted, of course. The best place to watch the World Championship live. No TV commercials. You get this fantastic studio show, and produced by some wonderful, wonderful people. And of course, FIA Monster Energy Motocross the Nations behind the gate, and all the highlights. Everything goes with it. So yeah, buy now if you don't already have it.
Yeah, that sounds good. Well, back to Ben. Ben, before Majora, your best race result was 6th in Trentino, race 2. Tell us, how has the transition been with the new team and the new bike? Because you have said it's been a tough one.
Yeah, it's definitely been tough, but I mean, it's not only been tough for me, it's been tough for the team. They've been with a different manufacturer for the last 10 years or something, so you know, the transition was never going to be easy, but it needs to happen at some point. And unfortunately, with Roman's injury, he obviously had a lot of experience with this bike and, you know, the people involved. And yeah, he's just not been around like we wanted. So we've been quite alone. And, you know, when having a tough season, we're trying to find stuff with the bike to, you know, make it work better for me. And the one thing is that everyone's, you know, not given up and just been working as if I was winning every weekend. So that's been a real nice thing for me, because even though I'm struggling, the support is still there, you know, 100%. So no, it really has been difficult, but when you start, even a fourth, I think for everyone in the team, it felt like a win after, you know, the last few weeks.
But that's the thing that people forget, isn't it? You've changed brands, they've changed brands. The one person that had a lot of information and knowledge is not riding at the moment, or hasn't been until this week, you know, probably like 2-3 times on the bike now. Are you looking forward to Roman coming back and riding and maybe sharing some setup things, or just being on track riding with him?
Yeah, definitely. I've missed having him around just because
bromance.
Even before we was teammates, we was good friends and did a lot of our training together and riding. So it was, something that I was really looking forward to, because with him having so much experience and, especially with this bike, he could have helped me a lot and helped the team a lot and made that transition a little bit easier. But this is motocross, and he's just had a really unlucky run with his injury, and it's taken more time than it should have done.
Sure. Well, look, we're back in Sardinia. Last year you went 7-7 here, 6 overall. You're looking forward to a little bit of soft stuff, big scoop tyre and all the rest of it, and just mixing it?
Yeah, no, I grew up in the sand, and obviously living in Belgium, and sand's what I'm used to. I feel like home when I'm riding in the sand. So some of my best results have come in Lommel. I've had 4 podiums there, so the tough conditions always seem to suit me. But again, I'm not going to put pressure on myself, because I've had a good weekend last weekend, and starting to find my groove a little bit. But we need to keep building, and it's still early in the season, so we'll just keep going. Just
real quick, how does the racetrack here in Sardinia kind of differ to somewhere like Lommel? Everyone says Lommel is the place, you know, that you want to win because of how deep and heavy. I was talking to Jackie Vimon yesterday, and he said this place could be tougher because, yes, it's probably deeper, but it's not as wide open as Lommel. It's a lot more twisty, and therefore the bike will behave differently, and it's more of a physical challenge. Yeah, there's less flow here. Lommel, there's a lot of long corners, and the sections, the bike is always moving. Here you've got a lot more tight corners and slower sections where the holes just get really deep, you know. You're constantly pulling. And, with the weather here, it's hotter here than it has been ever in Lommel, so it's going to be tough. All right. Well, look, before we let go, just a quick reminder to everybody at home how you can get involved in this competition. Now, every week we have a best rider of the GP, but best rider of the weekend, and best rider of the year, sponsored by Athena. Basically, what it is, you get the chance to vote for your best rider of the weekend. At the end of the year, those tallies get added up as well, and obviously we get the best rider of the year, sponsored by Athena. How do we vote, Lisa?
Well, to vote, a dedicated post will be shared on our Instagram page every MXGP Sunday, where you, the fans, can vote for your favourite rider of the weekend. The competition is for MXGP riders only, and voting closes at 8 p.m. Sunday evening. Get involved and get voting for your best rider of the GP.
And best rider of the year, and all the rest of it. But look, Ben Watson, we are out of time. Thanks for joining us here today. Enjoy your race here this weekend, and maybe a weekend off next week. But and also good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ben.
Right, time to meet our final guest. Stephen Rubini is waiting in the wings. We'll catch up with him in a moment, just after we've seen the highlights from MXGP Race 2 from Italy, Maggiora.
The Fly Racing 15-second board up. Who will win the Italian Grand Prix? Watson around the outside for the foxhole shot for the first time for the Kawasaki rider. Jonas second, Seaworth third as they charge uphill. Pulls Jonas side through. Jonas now leads with the fastest lap of the race. This time he goes around the outside of the Brit. Or does he? Yes, he does. Guyton now second. A lower line to the outside, and Seaworth will outdrag Kawasaki down the end of the straight. Yes, he does. He moves into third. really enjoying the action here in this second MXGP race. As Geiser closes in on the Latvian. Tim Geiser just sets the fastest lap of the race at the end of lap 4. We're on lap 5. He's looking to go around the outside of Paul Jonas, and he does find his way into the lead at the first time of asking. See where to get alongside, and he closes down the door, and he takes second position in the same place he lost the lead a lap ago. Is that Ferrato? Oh, Ferrato out of 5th place. Cross-ruts himself here, does he? Oh, back end comes around. I'll tell you what, the groin will be painful in the morning. Renault does a good job to avoid him, just. And we've got a rider down, it's Jonas. So messes up going into turn 2. Jonas, did he lose 3rd place? Yes, he did. To Ben Watson. And he's going to lose 4th at the top of the hill if he's not careful to Maxime Renault. And he does. Loses the front, does he? Yes, he does. Holds the front, tips over the side. Watson goes around the outside of him. And then so too does Renault on the drag up to the top of the hill. Renault does go through and into 3rd place. Tim Geiser through the final turn, another perfect day, this time in Italy at Maggiora. Seawer over the line 2nd, Renault 3rd. Those two will join Geiser on the podium here in Italy.
Hello everybody, welcome back to our final part of our MXGP TV studio show here on MXGP TV, YouTube and Facebook with me, Paul Malin and Lisa Leyland. Our final guest is in now, Stephen Sword, the team trainer from Hitachi KTM fueled by Milwaukee, unless you've got another title.
There's a few other titles in there, but I think that's probably the best one to put.
We've got a menace in here as well. Our social media girl is just like making us look like Sados. If we got one of those filters on. But look, Stephen.
We're not sad. We're pretty happy.
Oh, we are happy.
We are.
Well, look, let's crack on. Before we start, though, obviously a new look team. A new look to the team this year, Hitachi KTM. You've got Isaac Gifting and Kai Carsmakers. What was, I guess, they're quite difficult people to work with, different characters. Just tell us briefly about both of them and how they are to work with.
How long have we got?
Okay, and next question.
No, I think Kai's very young. He's only 17, so we're trying to. He's starting off what should be a great career for him. So we're trying to nurture him, get the best out of him every weekend. He's coming back from an injury as well, which he sustained in Mantova. So he's done well to come back pretty quickly, really, from a skateboard injury and not have any problems afterwards. So yeah, he's still coming to his best, I think. Although last week was a good result for him. Isaac is well established in the class. He's got, he's only 22, so he's got another year. But he knows the deal. He knows where he wants to be, and he's getting closer every weekend. So we're just trying to push him in the right way, which I think it's going really well. Again, he sustained an injury with a broken collarbone, so it's been not easy. So we're getting back to where we want to be, and I think everything's going really well. Yeah.
Well, Isaac has, despite the broken collarbone, put in some good performances already, hasn't he? Including the 3rd in Maggiora. He's definitely a hard charger, isn't he?
He is, and he gives 110% all the time. And I think the podium is there soon. and he's desperate to get one. And it's just been a case of in the second motor he's had a couple of little mistakes which has caused, which has maybe stopped that from happening. But the speed, the determination, and the fitness and everything it's all there for Isaac. Yeah.
Does that make it easier to work with a rider like that, someone that always gives that 100% and some?
I mean, I think it's always what you want to start with, and then everyone's different, everyone's individually different, and I think at the level where these guys are at, especially Isaac, Kai's coming into that top 10 in the GPs, but Isaac, it's the small margins where he is with the other guys, so he's got all the determination, maybe more than some of the other guys, but maybe he lacks on some of the other little small areas that we try and work on. You're trying to find what makes him very, very good at the weekends, and it might necessarily be nothing too special, apart from just getting the simple things right. And I think it's those small little areas that are just going to make the difference for him.
Obviously, this was from Trentino, where he was pushing at the front early on, but got a third in race one last week in Maggiora. Does he feel a little bit more relieved now he's got that top three? Because he had a couple before in the previous year.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's had a couple of seconds and thirds already, and it was great to get that last week. And I think because he's been able to train in the week on the bike, he had 3 weeks where he couldn't ride from Monday till the next following GP because of the collarbone. And I think because the last weeks have been good in the week, he's got the rhythm back a little bit in the races, and I think that showed last week in Maggiora.
And what about Kai? Obviously, new boy on the team. I was surprised actually the decision to bring him in, but you've obviously,
It was very late. We were actually in Spain and down in Red Sands, and we didn't know he was coming until literally in January. So we took him on board. We didn't have the winter with him. He can definitely ride a bike. Last week was great for him because it showed that he could run up front. He got great starts along with the whole shot awards. So I think again he's looking to do well this weekend.
Well, last week in Maggiora, he definitely showed why you signed him. He got stuck in both races. Like you mentioned, he picked up a Fox hole shot. I mean, that's where you want him to be right now, isn't it? Exactly,
and it's the more time he can be in and around the top 5. He's got a great training partner with Isaac, so it's only everybody knows at this level confidence is everything, and he needs a bit of that at the moment to be up the front, because it's very, very difficult to be in 15th and come through, because they're also fast back there as well. So to start up the front is always great for him, and he gets the experience that he needs to get himself into that top 10.
It's going to be quite a hot weekend here in Sardinia. Did you guys come directly from Maggiora to here and ride here, or did you go back? Because obviously some people did.
No, we just went back. We sort of reset. The guys went back to Belgium, and although the truck came directly here, the riders had a day practicing at Lommel on Wednesday. So I think the weather was quite warm anyway.
Sure.
So it's probably the first hot race of the year.
It's the same for everyone, isn't it?
It's the same for everyone, but there's a nice breeze, and it's not too hot. But it will come into play tomorrow, I think, the weather and the fitness.
Well, both riders are pretty handy in the sand. Can we expect a first MX2 podium for Isaac this weekend?
I want to say yes, because it's possible. So we're always looking at the positives. But you first got to get through Saturday and then reset again for tomorrow. But I think he's got all the, everything's there. Last year here, he had a couple of good rides, a couple of top 6s, I think. So he's good in the sand, and we'll be going for it. But if it doesn't happen here, we'll try again somewhere else.
Last time we came in, we took you back to Portugal, when you won and all the rest of it in MX2. But did you know, on this day, 14th May 2004, you were actually leading the MX2 World Championship. You just won the German GP at Teufenthal. Do these kids you're working with know who they're working with? Do you let them know every now and again?
I do know. I do send them a few pictures of the red plate every now and then. We've not got to Teufenthal yet. I've got a couple of really good ones to send. So, no, they do laugh a little bit about it all. But yeah,
actually, one of your old sparring partners coming in this weekend as well, BT, Ben Townley. So I'm sure you can catch up with him.
Yeah, I will. It'd be nice to see Ben. Yeah, exactly. No, it'd be lovely to see Ben, and I've not seen him for many years, so it'd be nice to say hello. he might not recognise me now.
All right, well, look, Stephen, we are out of time. Thanks for joining us. Good luck for the boys this weekend and for the rest of the season. Before we go, though, just to fill you back in on what's happening for the rest of the day and over the weekend, we're back live 2:40 local time for WMX Race 1. They're back, of course. And EMX 250, we saw them in Majora. Their first race will be at 3:25. And then rounding out the day, we've got MX2 and MXGP qualifying. And you can catch all the action live tomorrow on MXGP-TV. Well, look, that's it for us too. We're going to take a week off when this weekend's done, and we'll rejoin you in Spain at the end of May. So thanks for watching. See you next time. Thanks to our guests. Thanks to Lisa. Thanks to Stephen.
And Steve.
And Steve. And everybody else. Thanks for watching. See you then. Bye.